Hey guys, welcome. It's me, Psycho Break, and this is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. And as you can tell, I've been a longtime fan for the Mass Effect series since 2007. Actually, when it came out, it was not only that it came out, but it was 4 years after KOTOR, which was Knights of the Old Republic. The Mass Effect series has been a long series that I've definitely enjoyed over the years. It's been before online gaming. It was the one game that I went to all the time and played mostly. I wasn't really into multiplayer games and I didn't really stay online much. So when I would get home, I would go home and play the single player game. Sometimes hours upon hours I would play this game, beating it and then going back and beating it again, killing time till the second one came out. So when the second one came out, the second version of the game would come out, it would actually be the first revolutionary game to actually import saves. You heard me right. It imported saves from the last game. And when it did this, it was definitely revolutionary in the fact that you was actually able to see your game different through the choices you made. And through the choices you made, it revolutionized how you felt that your choices really did matter. And that was something else. The Mass Effect series has been something that's been growing on for a huge fan base, me included. There's a lot of people that love this series and want to keep it close to their hearts and hoping that BioWare does no wrong. Because of this, BioWare has decided to not do multiplayer, to actually focus on the story, enhancing the remaster, if you will, of the Mass Effect series, the Mass Effect 1, actually. They put a lot of time and effort in the Mass Effect 1 series, and it's been pretty phenomenal from the screenshots that I've seen. You can actually look some of this stuff up online and actually find more detailed stuff of what they're able to show. Now, some of the things that you're going to see on here, I'm not going to show on here, but I'm going to talk and discuss over. You already know about the 40 DLCs that's coming to the game. I do appreciate if you came to me first, though, but there are some other videos that will go more in depth in that. What I was wanting to touch on is the fact of how much this series has meant to me and how much it actually means the fact that BioWare is actually doing its swan song. I call it a swan song because this is pretty much their last ditch effort to prove that through it all that BioWare can pull one out. The other thing is that there a lot of people were talking about and had questions about Pinnacle Station and why it wasn't one of the DLCs that used to be the DLC to the original Mass Effect. Well, I'm here to tell you Pinnacle Station had a corrupted file, and that's why they weren't able to add it to the game. However, Pinnacle Station wasn't that great. Pinnacle Station was a lackluster game. It was a lackluster add-on, to be honest. The add-on included the fact that you was able to, what happened is that the tutorial that you went to, kind of like a, what you call a, demonstration thing that they would use that these soldiers would go into to actually perform better and stuff. They'd go into this simulation. Well, this simulation arena goes rogue. Because of the fact that it goes rogue and stuff, the high scores, Commander-Chief, Commander Shepard, is told to come back there and find out what's going on and investigate. Upon that, you end up going into what's called the simulation, and you have to fight multiple waves of enemies. Now you might be thinking that's pretty cool, but it wasn't that fun. See, you got to think back when Mass Effect 1 was coming out and stuff, they were jack of all trades and master of none at this point. So the gameplay on that was kind of clunky. When you got done beating Pinnacle Station, the reward you got was an empty room that you could walk in there, and that was it. It was supposedly supposed to be your place to reside and hang out, but all you had was a big window to stare out of and an empty room. It wasn't that great of an ending or a great thing of a game. It was stressful. Also, the other DLCs that they have are going to be some DLCs from the collector's editions and throughout the editions that if you pre-ordered and all that stuff back in the day. It's going to already have those on there. A lot of people are excited about the Dragon Age armor that's going to be on there, which was really nice, but it's more of a nod than anything. At that time, Dragon Age Origins had came out, and they were really trying to push that too. The other thing is, on the Mass Effect series, the Legendary Editions, as you saw in the beginning of the clips, is the Legendary Collector's Edition, which is probably around $200. I say probably because some websites say it's 150 and some say it's more. The other thing is that this Collector's Edition comes with a helmet, comes with a steel case, game case, comes with a Morality spinner pin, which it shows 3. I'm pretty sure they're giving you 1. A canvas of the Art of the Normandy, which is basically the flagship of the whole game. Now, as far as the canvas is concerned, I would not be surprised if this canvas is part of that box, and you can open it up all the way around and you get that little poster. The other thing is that this Legendary Edition, now I'm talking about the Collector's Edition, that's $200, does not come with the game. It just comes with the game case, a thank you letter, and a Morality pin spinner. Basically, you would use this like if you're going to go Renegade or Paragon, you just spin the thing and whatever it goes on, that's the choices you'd make. That's what I assume anyways. Also, the other things that's been touched on with the Mass Effect series is the fact that if you have EA and you're subscribed to it, you pay $53.49. That's before tax. Depending where you live, for me, I live in Alabama, so my tax, it brings it up to 59, if I'm not mistaken, $59.39, which puts it to where I'm only saving 40 cents. This game series is something that's going to be a massive, no pun intended, a massive deal when it comes to people like myself who really crave for these games. Now, the one big thing on this Mass Effect series is that they've detailed the creative character look. The fact that now the feminine default Shepard is now available on Mass Effect 1. So now you can play her throughout the whole game. They fixed it to now where her hair now moves and flows. It's not stiff or glitchy or anything like that. And they've added some more skin tones and stuff like that to kind of fit certain people as far as who they're trying to make. Now, me for one am interested in how good their creative character looks, but I'm not going to lie, if they spent this much time doing a default character like they did Feminine Shepard, that's usually why a lot of people went with their own basic stuff. See, when playing Mass Effect 1, you would try to do your own custom character and he just didn't look right. You pretty much had to go with what you could. I mean, the default Shepard is what they had looking better at the time. The other thing is, if you decide to pre-order this on the PS4 or the Xbox One, they do not have any plans of doing an upscale patch. The only way to get 4K Ultra HD settings and 60 frames a second is only going to be through the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro. You will not get this playing on the basic Xbox One or the basic PlayStation 4. Now, it goes without saying that the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S will have this feature, but it may have faster load times and stuff like that, but it's not going to be something where you're going to say, well, I noticed the graphics. It's going to look about the same on the Xbox One X as it does on the Xbox One or the Xbox Series S, or X. Xbox, it's going to look the same on if you got the Xbox Series S or X as it would look on the Xbox One X or PS4 Pro. As far as 4K Ultra HD, you're not going to get 4K Ultra HD on the basic Xbox One, and you're not going to get the 4K Ultra HD on the PS4. The other thing is to mention is the fact they took out the multiplayer. I said this earlier, but the reason they took out the multiplayer was because so they could basically focus on what needed to be fine-tuned. Keep in mind, Mass Effect Andromeda was not a big success at all. Matter of fact, the game ends abruptly. I bought it twice. You'd think I'd learned my lesson. But no, I had to get Andromeda. Got Mass Effect Andromeda, and then turned around and bought Anthem twice. Yes, I'm that guy. Anyways, back to the Mass Effect series. There's a lot of things that are spoilers that you will watch. If you haven't played the game, I heed to you wholeheartedly. Do not watch these videos. I don't mind you watching my videos, because my videos are the bomb diggity. But they're going to exploit a lot of spoilers. The romance options have not been changed. The people you could romance before are going to be the same ones you can romance. The only one that you can romance with the same sex and stuff is going to be on Mass Effect 3, and is also going to be on Mass Effect 1 and 2. You're probably like, what? There's only one character you can have same-sex relations with on through the whole series, and that's Liara. So whether you're female or male, it doesn't matter. She will be romanceable. Now again, back to my story, or back to what I was saying about why I liked Mass Effect. Mass Effect's been a huge part of the industry of RPG. It's the way that Cyberpunk 2076, and yes, I said that on purpose, should have been done. See, you're going to spend time creating your character of Mass Effect Shepard because he's in every cutscene, and you see him all the time. The only time that it goes into third-person view is when you have to fight. Otherwise than that, it's all eyes on him and who he's talking to. Now I'm looking forward to this because they've also remastered the skin, and the way things look. Oh yeah, and did I mention, there's not going to be ray tracing. Instead, what the developers decided to do was to touch up and improve the artwork, the environments. So where ray tracing would take off, they actually did reflective looks of the images and put them on and made it look really, really good. If you can take a moment, check out the screenshots, and you can Google them. You can find them there. Now, if you don't mind having a spoiler and you want to endeavor in that and deal with that, because I understand pre-orders are a big risky business, then by all means do it. But I heed you on the warning. If you haven't played Mass Effect series, the original trilogy, this is going to kind of take the wind out of the sails. One of the things that you will notice when getting this game and downloading, they're going to have what's called a launcher. Now, instead of it being like where you go to, from the way I understood it, it was like when you play the game, it's going to have one boot screen, and then you select your game from that boot screen. Once you select that game, you play it. When you're done playing it, instead of it doing what a lot of people wanted was something like, hey, Mass Effect 2 starts in 3, 2, 1, it's actually going to take you back to the menu once you beat the game, and then you choose a different game on the Mass Effect. This, honestly, I've dealt with so much hype on this back when it came out, back when it was new for Mass Effect 2, back for when Mass Effect 3 when it was new. And this game was pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome. The only thing that makes me laugh about this is the fact there's a lot of people that got new gen systems. Well, congratulations. You're playing a video game that dated back in 2005. This game has been retouched, whatever they want to say, reimagined, whatever. And I'm interested in it and stuff for the fact of having it and seeing what all they did to the actual Mass Effect trilogy and the series itself. Me, myself, I will definitely be purchasing it when it comes and drops in May, and I look forward to playing it. But I just wanted to touch on some certain things and skim over with what a lot of people said or had questions about. Again, Pinnacle Station is not going to be on there. If you want to play Pinnacle Station DLC, it's easy. Download the 360 version that you can play on Game Pass. and you can purchase that Pinnacle Station. I promise you, you're not missing anything. The one good DLC out of Mass Effect 1 was Bringing Down the Sky, because it gave you an OP weapon, gave you an OP Omni tool that you could use, and it pretty much freaking kicked ass. Like you was glad you got it. The other DLCs that they have on the Mass Effect series, like Mass Effect Series 2, Mass Effect 2, was a lot of cosmetic stuff back then. A lot of stuff for your armor, a lot of stuff for your characters and appearances and looks. Also had really good story. One was Leviathan, which pretty much sums up, it's kind of like a prelude into a prologue, if you will, to Mass Effect 3. And then you had the Shadow Broker, which was pretty awesome, which is the first time you see Liara since the good bit of the game, because the only way you see her in Mass Effect 2 is because of this DLC. This game, again, is well worth getting. I would definitely recommend doing your research and taking a look. But again, the Legendary Edition, Collector's Edition, not the digital, not the physical, but the one that's cost, the one that had the helmet and all that stuff I showed on there, that does not come with the game. So just wanted to let you know that. Anyways, guys, I thank you for watching and being patient with me. And if you notice something different about here, give me a like and subscribe. And as always, break every chain. God bless you. I want to give a shout out to Razorblade Dreams, my homie, and Derek Tojo, and also Becca Gaming. Anything else, guys, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Hit me up on Twitter at PsychoBreak. Also, I'll play on Xbox and PS4. Hit me up there too. In all, I just want to thank y'all for being awesome. Break every chain.